What's up, Raging Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at my very first stop-motion animation, Optimus Prime versus War Machine. And that's exactly what it is. It's the Revoltech figures of the title characters, Optimus Prime and War Machine, and they are fighting in a video. And I wanted to use Revoltech figures because they're very posable. They have the ability to move in all kinds of ways that other toys can't. But originally I did not want to make a stop motion animation because it's very time consuming and I didn't really understand a whole lot about how they're made. I don't have the proper software for creating stop motion animations. But after followers from the Raging Nation were asking me, hey Alex, you should really make a stop motion animation since you have all these toys and you're a filmmaker. You should really make one. So I really pondered the idea, but before I got into making it, I decided that I gotta see who's the best stop motion animator out there, or stop motion filmmaker rather, on YouTube. And that ended up being Patrick Boivin, who is a Montreal-based filmmaker, and he makes amazing stop motion animations using action figures. So I thought he was pretty much the best, and he was great to learn off of because he creates these behind the scenes videos. Another thing that I wanted to watch on YouTube was stop motion animations that weren't really good. And you can be either really good or really bad, and there's really nothing in between. What I determine as what is really good is two things: is camera stabilization and a lot of frames. And this is one of the biggest things that differentiates between a good animation and a bad one. And if you don't have enough frames, then your video will end up looking choppy. And if your camera's not stabilized, once again, it'll look even more choppy. So it's really important for you to put your camera on a tripod, and if you don't have a tripod, then put it on like a stack of books or CDs or whatever, but just don't move the camera. And that's what exactly I kept in mind when making my stop motion animation video. And another thing is that, of course, I mentioned that you gotta put a lot of frames. If a vehicle is gonna go from hair to hair, make sure it has enough frames to fill those two spots between A and B. So that was another thing that I really had to keep in mind when making all my shots. And when I was making this video, I had to plan everything out. Like, it wasn't just about just doing it and shooting it, just putting the camera there and just shooting the frames. There was a lot of planning involved. Like, for example, I had to make a complete shot list or a storyboard. I didn't make a storyboard, I made a shot list, but at least I had a plan. I knew exactly what shot I needed and how it was going to start and how it was going to end, like basically how I was going to get from point A to point B. And the way I did was I shot everything in front of a green screen. I used a green screen because I didn't want to be limited to the space that I was using. For example, if I'm shooting on the floor, I don't want to just stay on the floor. I wanted to be able to work in this, this environment where I'm seated comfortably, and then I could do whatever I want with the figures in terms of posing them. One of the things that helped me a lot was these. These are called helping hands. These are used to paint models. And what I did was that I primered it first with a gray primer, and then I painted it green just so that it could blend in with the green screen. And these helped so much. When I was using them, I can pose the figures in a way where they won't fall down. So these really helped a lot. The first layer was, of course, the moving of the figures behind a green screen. But when they're moving, for example, when they're running, like Optimus Prime runs in my video, I need to make sure that the background actually moves with the figure. I had to shoot something called background plates. So I had a scene where Optimus Prime is running. Well, if he's running towards me, that means the background has to go further away. So I made sure that I shot all the background plates for every single action. When they're fighting, I shoot it on the ground. When Optimus Prime is jumping from the air, I start off from the top of the shelf and I work my way to the bottom of the shelf. So there's a lot of things that you really have to keep in mind when making a video like this. So planning is really important, and that's exactly what I did. To make the video flow smoothly, I shot just under 2,000 photos. Even though the video is only just over a minute long, there was just under 2,000 photos in there. And so that's a lot of photos, but I got it down to a really efficient workflow. So I moved it a little bit, then I snapped a photo, moved it, snapped photo, moved it, snapped photo, moved it, snapped photo. So it was a really time-consuming and tedious process, and it took over the course of 3 days, 8 hours each day, from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. for 3 days, and a lot of sleepless nights. So it was a lot of work, but I'm pretty satisfied with the result that came out of it. I know it's not perfect, but I think for my very first try, I felt that I did something pretty decent, and it takes a lot of time to perfect. So I'm kind of perfecting the art as I go along. I'm definitely gonna make more. I'm probably gonna do something different. The main thing that I couldn't really figure out how to do was the concept of speed. I edited the video with just my standard video editing software. I didn't use any stop motion animation software, so I really couldn't grasp the concept of speed. So when they're moving and punching each other, it's always like this. So that's something I have to learn and research about how to do that. I've kind of figured out some way to get that working, but basically for every shot, I had to make each one as a separate video. So I had to make them as a separate video first and then piece them all together. So that's how I was able to make it work. But I think for me to just get them moving in different speeds, I have to take another step of that same process. So there's a little more work done for that, but these are some of the things that you have to do to create a smooth looking stop motion animation video. So I hope you enjoyed my stop motion animation video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave me some feedback and let me know what kind of stop motion animation you want to see next from me. What I really want to do is do some kind of transformation videos and have a really smooth transformation. So that's going to take a little bit of work, but I'll have to take a bit of fine-tuning of what I already know about stop motion animations. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is from Rage and Ronin Pro, Rage and Ronin Productions. Follow me on Facebook, Rage and Ronin Productions, and also follow me on Twitter as well, on Rage and Ronin Pro. Okay, this is my production channel. Anyways, my name is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.